Everybody, this is Alex with a new Let's Play of the survival horror game Penumbra Overture, which was the first game developed by Frictional Games, who we know are best known as the developers of the Amnesia series. And throughout October, I hope to be able to release an entire Let's Play of the Penumbra series, as well as a start on Amnesia: The Dark Descent and The Bunker. So, let us begin Penumbra Overture. Normal.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world-renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever taken. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Finally, we're almost docked. I better stow my gear. I may be far from home, but chances are that I can still pick things up using the left mouse. Take a closer look at things with using the right mouse. It seems to be... well, the controller sensitivity seems to be a bit rough, but I'll get used to it. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date. The landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea where I'm heading. Whiskey, empty, shame. Soup. Flashlight twitches on and off the inventory tab, or hopefully with the shortcut key F. So this is just play around with this lantern. Always travel with a padlock and a key, preferably. Mine's in the inventory tab. Padlock key. duffel bag, coat. I was good to have a notebook and to jot down interesting information reminders. P. This pause menu. To-do list. Nothing. Nothing. Now where's that emergency glow stick? It's just opening a locker. Keys and inventory tab. Batteries. Ah, some extra batteries. Power from my flashlight. A little ghoulish, but should be a decent fallback if the torch cuts out. Should come in handy when the torch runs out of batteries. Should get access through inventory with the shortcut key, G. That should be everything I need to get going before dark. This fog closed in on us almost as soon as we left port. I haven't seen any landmarks for ages now. I don't know how they're managing to navigate. I'd be as good as lost at sea if I was on my own. I thought we were thinking. From the smell, I'd say there's an equal chance they use this chest for personal belongings. Or bait. There's Eric. Just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get your rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've watched those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time. But I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Hendricksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout. As I've said, they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home. When you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Fisherman's lovely. Fisherman's wife, love letter. To-do list. Nothing. What's this brand say? J. Daniels Tennessee Whiskey. Oh. It's a risky wooden desk, and I can't get that drawer open if I just hold the ankle and drag it to the mouse. Oh, I'm on a controller, but I might use keyboard and mouse with this. Pretty odorous. Glad I'm getting out of here soon. I must eat and sleep and, well, do everything else in one room for weeks at a time. Some family photos. Playboy poster. It's nice some things don't change no matter how far you are from home. This is Joan Crouch. Glow stick. I see. Stick. Hell. Okay. Now this, and I'm kind of stuck in a like this. Like I don't want to move around, please. Alright. As I stepped out the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I had been to discovering my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation, or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after. I knew hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. It's so cold. I don't know where I am. I need shelter soon. My entire head went numb a long time ago, but I can still hear the roaring. Okay. I guess I'm not allowed to fucking reach it. I'm weak, but I can still throw things. RT, throw with LT. If I use interact, I can swing. Oh. Just in case. Still feel so weak. I heard that in there. Yeah, this is awkward. Come on. Open the damn thing. Open it. Open it. There. I have to like move my mouse all over. I might need to adjust my mouse sensitivity. Sounds like you fell. Jesus, my head. I can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? I'm just gonna adjust it. Maybe look in the barrel. Could be anything inside it. Should have known that rusted ladder wouldn't hold my weight. I didn't have any choice. I'd rather die down here than suffer in that cold any longer. Stick. Empty boxes of ammunition? What is this place? What's interesting about, like, this game and the glow stick has, like, infinite while you have batteries on the flashlight. A steel rod. Flare. That'll come in handy. Heavy nickel barrel. Could be anything inside it. Exit. Emergency exit procedures. Unfortunately, I am unable to read it. stealth. And the shelves slowly falling apart. Flare. Could be rotting fish in that one. Hammer. Let's see. I can swing this hammer if I hold left mouse. Take a backswing by pulling the mouse right. And then fall through by pushing left. The opposite works too, pulling back and thrusting forward produces a stabbing motion. I reckon if I hold down the right mouse after that backswing, I should be able to look around. Left, that's right. Interesting. A metal shelf. Was bored up a long time ago. The wood looks pretty soft now. Get the hammer ready. What's up here? Come on, I want to look at stuff. The hatch is seriously solid. Now don't open my hand. Someone obviously wanted to keep people out or in. Something's definitely down there. No wonder I couldn't open that door. This looks like some kind of industrial mechanism, although there's a hole in the center and no way to operate it. There we go. It fits pretty comfortably. Okay, I know most games don't use a controller with these type of games, since some older titles aren't really built, or at least some certain titles aren't really built with controllers. But this ain't too bad. I'm just more comfortable with a controller. You just like to sit back and relax with a controller. Now, before I go and open up this hatch, I am curious what's in here. If it'll let me. Come on. If I do a circle. There we go. Making my way through these tunnels. Oh, just let me back here. Interesting. Okay. I don't know where this leads or what's waiting for me. Unless I want to starve to death, it's my only option. Besides, maybe this place has something to do with my father. Excuse me on that. Whatever I was descending into was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches located in a remote Arctic wilderness. And buried beneath the snow, I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of the phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there. If something goes wrong, part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by closing thing of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me. Friends, parents, teachers were too scared, or too far away. Jot down a note just in case. To-do list. The entrance to the cave is caved in. There could be anything living down here. Rogues are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I face off against anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses now. If anyone or anything hears me, I'm best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by pressing left control, or the B button on the Xbox controller, will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I know I've got it in right place. I know I've got it right because of the blue tint of my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something right on top of me. Better remember to shut off my light sources though. My best bet is to hide for a couple seconds or so, perfectly still. That'll make me properly hidden. Not as heavy as it looks, but still serves some sort of weapon if I had to defend myself. I don't see anything. There's a rock. It looks like I can hide in here. Looks like a map. So I'm located right in the southern part. If I move move ahead to the right, there's a storage, and there's an office. Best to head towards the storage. Just keep to the walls and be quiet. Just in case. Let's have our time, am I right? That was a really bad joke. I know there's an enemy around here. I'm just going to be very cautious. Workshop. So far, so good. What's this? This place must be old if they were using bathroom lamps. Looks like there's still some juice left. No, I'm not taking any chances lighting that up. Whatever's down here could see me. At least these boxes seem to be good for hiding. Lots of useless junk. At best it could be a decent hiding spot. Because you can't throw a barrel at the enemies. Storage room. Excellent. Like I can actually hide behind this. Lots of paper boxes with rusty nails. Reams of wiring. What the hell? Either work of a child or a deranged mind. It's a representation of a scorched, withering spider. If the lighter wasn't empty, it'd be a handy thing to have. It's a Zippo lighter, but it's empty. How unfortunate. Just gonna add these here. There we go. Just in case I ever switch the keyboard. It's just like some kind of trap door, but I can't see where it would be. It's like you climb up and put a couple rocks and drop a box on something. Just some old paint cans, dried up a long time ago. A storage crate for transporting ore, I suppose. There's a draft coming from the base. Ah. Trapdoor must lead deeper into the rock, to some kind of basement. Yeah. Okay, maybe if I move this over here. There we go. Pills. Batteries. Ugh, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. I'm gonna do it again. I may never get used to that. Some really squeaky floorboards. Looks like someone's removed the ladder from these hooks. With a pretty blunt saw. Just gonna take this rock with me. Oh. Stupid whispering ghosts. Looks like he's right above me. Looks as if this basement caved in some years ago. Something's tunneled through here more recently, though. Christ, what sort of creature makes these markings? Same type of spider. I'm getting my rock. Christ, was that a spider? I don't like spiders. It's to the left. Oh, stop pissing. Oh, there's a ladder. wonder if I need a ladder for up ahead. Most likely. Steam. That steam could blister flesh from bone in instant. I know I've seen it happen. Oh, that's a dead animal. Horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified or else the smell would have been awful. Rest well, dog. A note. Flare. Dry, dusty old bags. What's this? Scientific findings 1. Day 1. I begin this record, still in the hope that great work we have undertaken here might one day be of scientific value. Despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous, my aim is to remain secure, until what help there may be arrives. And to that I have barricaded myself into a small workshop area in the abandoned part of the mine. I hope that the food rations here will keep me alive, and that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps this mine really is cursed. It's almost precisely 30 years since the incident that brought us here. And now, 30 years on, fate has struck again. Day 1 and then day 3. Day 3. I forecasted that today the rescue crews would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location, and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out in search of them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on that matter of rescue. My second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both those assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and I have found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously, could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused with focus, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of a feral creature, which seems to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore a significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which I believe now is most likely a sprain rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a smaller, disused part of the mine, the key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered this open storeroom. And I'm missing some words there, I guess, whatever, when I narrate, whatever. And I think it should keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. A lesson learned. I will not venture out again until I am certain the area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic. Supplies diminishing. Lots of spiders in this place. I do not like spiders. Day 34. I caught one of the accursed 8-legged beasts nestling in my open mouth when I woke up this morning. In my surprise, I swallowed it. It's not so much the act of swallowing which concerns me, but the genus of an arachnid. It would be unlikely that a cave-dwelling spider would be venomous to any significant degree, but the possibility troubles me all the same. Day 35. Any known venom would have affected me by now, and so today is the first minor cause for celebration I have had since the incident. By lucky coincidence, this revelation also means I have discovered a virtually inexhaustible supply of nutrition. I intend to venture into the basement beneath the storeroom, in the name of science, to discover more about these creatures' natural habitat. Day 50. For 4 days now I have been surviving solely off the quite considerable sustenance provided by the spiders. For some time, I was struggling to gather enough of the crunchy little morsels. However, Lady Luck smiled on me once more when the batteries in my torch died, and I made a second life-saving finding. The creature's natural habitat is the dark. With my light now diminished, I need only lay still for a few minutes, and I would attract enough to beasts for a rather hearty meal. Interesting. So these spiders seem to be afraid of flashlights. So if one is to come near me, I'm just gonna flash them. Go. Ow. If it weren't for the size of the piece, I would say it looks like eggshells. I'm losing blood, but I should be okay. Another note. Day 71. My earlier assumptions on the benign nature of my cellmates have been made in error. After a careful autopsy, I am concerned that there may be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach, which, if ingested regularly over a period of time, may become psychotropic, or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any stashes of supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. 1. I have no source of light. 2. I swore to myself I wouldn't leave until I heard human voices outside. 3. The spiders are so tasty. Day 100. From the marks I've been making on the walls in my scrubbed diary entries, which in the dark may amount to an illegible scrawl, today is the 100th day of my new life. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive, and have swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering their ecosystem, I am unsure. However, at this rate of growth, they will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the walls. For I know I could only be seen the tip of the iceberg. If all fails, I am never recovered, I hope at least that my study of, and indeed involvement with these fascinating creatures, will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The greatest names in modern science got there through fluke than talent. It appears that this rule has extended itself to my discovery of this delicious new species. I need a drink of water. Alright. I only pray that the second roll deems my breakthrough too significant. And for all great discoveries tend to consume their inventor. Definitely got a time for that. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Maybe if I grab this ladder and then put it over there. Go. Ow, 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 shit. Death is the final one. Oh, okay, where am I? Alright. Grab this ladder. Which I assume I have to take it through this cave. I'll just move you over here and toss. I don't think it saved the notes I carried. Flare. Just gotta time it. Damn cave-ins. Alright, looks like I avoided that. Can't open with that lock intact. Finally. This must be all that's left of the basement storage. That lock looks rather worse for wear. These chests must be quite common. Fluid lighter glass. Gas. Why did I say get glass? Hospital gray. The hospital. Can't ever have too many batteries. Sounds like there's a minor leak coming from these steam pipes. There. I don't have to worry about burning. Making my way through these tunnels. Yeah, okay. Looks like I need to head back now. I assume I would need to take this ladder with me. I mean, I kind of do, but like, I thought it was like the other side of the tunnel if I need it. Don't want this shit getting stuck. Whatever killed that man. Hopefully I don't have to deal with it. Knowing my luck, I'm gonna have to fight that thing. I think someone's been dragged through here. I've never seen this much blood before. This was my best chance to get some answers. Who else is still down here? Someone was... Years and years of reports, logs, and files. Just left here to gather dust. There's probably a century of life and death right here at my feet. A key. An old key. Pencil. Well, that at least... Oh, at least this one's a little more positive. Though I'd question its motivation. Spider Hater's Note. Day 200. It has been some time since I recorded any findings in relation to the spiders with whom I have shared my existence for the past 8 months, partly due to my enforced retreat from their basement territory. Not too long ago, their behavior became overtly aggressive, and so I have attempted to barricade the main entrance to their lair, and secured myself within one of the smaller rooms above it. The only one with an operational door lock. The smaller rooms above it, so there's a door lock that's okay. The other reason is that I have been recovering from a minor operation, which I have forced to conduct myself without the aid of an anesthetic. Even if I do have any anesthetic or surgical tools, I couldn't afford to be less than diligent in my work. So anesthetic was out. Surgical tools are well and good, but although it may be becoming old and rusty, I still trust my penknife to do the job as well. The procedure itself was elementary, though. A simple amputation of a non-vital organ. I began to notice a thick, glue-like substance forming on my tongue. I was forced to accept that I had become infected through constant toxin ingestion. Day 300. Another century of days comes and goes, and it seems like so long since I escaped here. At some stage since my last entry, I attempted to return from whence I came. That from which I originally was fleeing seems a fate far worse than the one I now faced. However, in the time since I arrived from the larger mind system, a cave-in has occurred, blocking any further progress. I was forced to return and accept whatever in life has in store for me. I can still hear my aggressive little friend scratching on the door to my cell. Pencil. Looks like an internal organ. Maybe an animal tongue. Meaty. Files, bottles of alcohol, I assume. The largest spider I've ever seen. With its gut carved open. Nothing. This hole isn't large enough for a man. I thought I'd go anywhere near it. Even if it was, what burrowed out this tunnel? Beef jerky. Beef jerky, now without aroma. Looks like I'm done in this area. Oh god, someone else down here. I can't just switch over around the corner. I need to hide. Jesus, I've never been scared of my life. I can feel my heart racing. If anything goes within more than a few feet of my hiding spot, I better not stare it out. Anything within my field of vision might panic me. Then I'm a goner. Looks like he's walked away for now. Just to stay crouched against the walls. I do have beef jerky with me, which I remember that you can use it to distract the beasts. Alright. So far so good. Looks like there's a dog over there. There it is. Okay, it's walking that way. Time to make a move. I'm just going. I think I'm making my way to the office that I saw on the map earlier. Okay. Yes, it is a wooden box. Thank you, game. Oh, okay. Looks like I made my way back this way. Alright. Make a left. Okay, go left, right, and then left to the office. I think it's over there. I'm going this one. I swear to God. Just keep going. Just keep going. You can see its eyes anyway, so you know when it's near office. Okay. Oh boy. It's quite tense. Though I always do kind of like when horror games kind of have like an enemy lurking around, you have to avoid it. What's this? Baxtrin. More reading? I'm gonna take a swig of water first. '15th of August, 1945. Command Bunker, Emergency Airship Zulu. Weekly report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment receives standard emergency drills carried out. Routine runway maintenance completed. I have ordered the maintenance to be carried out twice weekly, from here on in, due to increased snowfall. One wounded. The one wounded figure has no cause for certain back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. Two of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop / armory, and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this, and that I allowed them to access the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom. And I'm sure that's where they learned. That's where they learned the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I've now locked up that manual in the chest in my office, and will keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined. An injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay. Oh, my bad. Not mean to press that. Or was I? Yeah. Punishment would have been him to stay out here. But the matter is out of my hands. This base is so disconnected sometimes. I feel as if this war could end. We might not even hear about it out there. Supplies requisition order. Dynamite for evacuation purposes. 7 bayonets. Not necessary in my opinion, but procedure states we should have full complement. 1 industrial ice pack for removing the damn ice that forms on the external hatch. 1 pair of reading glasses. Category 7C. In order for myself, my glasses are in a rather poor state of repair and could do with replacing. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. One point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made. It may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover, and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Chief NCO M. Major. I apologize that my reading narration abilities are not the best. It's a fairly basic work desk. This place has been converted to a functional office at some stage in its history. Another note. Music. Copenhagen Post, Monday, 17th of August, 1930. Psychotropic deposits at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mine-altering chemicals naturally sown into the rock may have been cause of high suicide rates at the Greenland mine. The university, which has recently been conducting studies into isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of the northwestern lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally higher suicide rate, local figures for the last 100 years were abnormally high, at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace, compared to the national average of 29. On further investigation, experts diagnosed in many of the miners symptoms in common with the earlier stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to the natural good lord, I cannot read today. Of lactic acid, a pH4 formula recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in the rocks. A few locals were conducted to interview, but those who agreed to speak their own explanation. Infant spirits, known as the Turnvigate, live in the mountains. The university awaiting results of chemical testing studies. Spirits of Greenland. A small key. Nothing. Batteries. Give me that. Nothing. No. Negative. Nothing. The typewriter dates back even further than the war. Made in Germany, 1923. No, I'm gonna push a chair in. Now what? Can I even hide in these desks? No. Okay, maybe if I just carefully put the chair back up, and there we go. Looks neat that way. Nothing. Beef jerky. Yummers. Light. I must be outside already. This place is starting to get to me. But even if I could reach that grate, it looks built into the rock itself. No way it's coming loose. Chest of storing valuables. Need a key. Maybe this works? Huzzah. Big Book of Explosives, 1923 edition. Chapter 1.3, Black Match Fuse. The black match fuse is one of the oldest, simplest, and most reliable fuses used in modern pyrotechnics. It is easy to create, essentially consisting of just string and gunpowder. But be warned, the chemicals concerned will stain clothing, and as always, due concern is advised. Materials required: string, preferably cotton, black gunpowder, and Baxter. The sting should be coated with a thin layer of Baxter, which acts as an adhesive. The string and then carefully rolled into the gunpowder and left to dry at least a couple of minutes before use. All the gunpowder. Okay. Chapter 2.1, Dynamite. Invented by Alfred Noble in 1866, dynamite is commonly used in construction, mining, and demolition, and also for blowing people up in certain situations, like in third-person shooters. It is proved far safer to handle than alternatives such as pure nitroglycerin, provided, that is, it had been properly stored. Over time, the explosive component of dynamite is supposedly made safe by the presence of a diatomaceous earth, has a tendency to weep, making an old box of explosive liable to detonate on contact. Materials required: 1 part diatomaceous earth, 3 parts nitroglycerin, small amount of sodium carbonate. Text unreadable, and then simply form in short sticks and wrap in paper. Okay, so I guess I can actually blow myself up. Chapter 2.3, TNT. TNT was first discovered in 1863 by German chemist Joseph Wilbrand, but it took some years before it yielded its true potential. This was because of the difficulty of making it explode in a lesser detonation in comparison to dynamite. The main advantage was discovered by the German Navy, who employed TNT's relative explosive stability in order to cause massive damage to British warships. Their torpedoes could be detonated inside a ship's armor rather than exploding on contact as it did other shells. Armstrong's mixture. Armstrong's mixture is enveloped in his book as more of a point of interest than as a valuable chemical mix. The formula consists as somewhat of a legend in modern pyrotechnics, referenced by those knowledgeable enough to stay away from it. As death mix its incredible volatility make it unsuitable for almost all potential applications. Materials required red phosphorus buffering. This mixture can be carefully and slowly mixed to minimize risk to the chemist. Sulfur can substitute for some or all barium, so increase sensitivity. Explosives mix. Let's see. I have backstream, but I need more materials. Jerky. Nothing. Nothing. Painkillers. An old man clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger, never seen before. Still, I know this man before he is Howard. I call him Father. It was different, but the same. That time, like, I had more control, but over what? Alright, what's this? There's a picture of a British platoon. It must date back to World War II. I suppose this mine was converted into some kind of bunker. Amnesia the bunker. But this isn't amnesia. So it seems like I got what's this? So much history in this place, tied up in words, left to decompose. Oh. I seem to have, let's see, I have lighter refill canister, bottle Braxton, Zippo lighter. Seems like I need to get more materials to create an explosive. Rotting wood shelves. Must be added moisture from that grate. This whole room is putrefied. Flare. The light. This seems like a solid stopping point for part 1 of my Let's Play of Penumbra Overture. Thanks to anybody who came across the video, or has watched my videos, or enjoyed my videos as well. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to as well, if you want any notifications for any future uploads. And look forward to more videos in the future. And this has been Alex.